Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Nice. Okay. Yes, yes, we're all very happy about that. All right. Oh, let's do this one. And us. So since Ellie seems to be being pretty cool, I'll go ahead and change this one up. Mm-hmm. Oh, right. I guess I should turn this on. Duh. No wonder I can't see chat. Yeah. Yes. Explore some classic icons. Ooh, staff. That's what we'll do. Maybe that one. I guess we'll have to do snake staff. Take probably the closest one we can get to. I want to say the number on that would be Ooh, perfect. This is perfect, actually. Found it. I found our pipe stand-in. There we go. Heck yeah, we did it, guys. So I want to say that's 3 so far. Oops. Pipe. 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 Okay, excellent. Now they're pipes. Now they're little candy cane pipes. Nice. Even kind of festive. So anyway, now that I have that all situated, I was meaning to do that yesterday, but I completely got distracted. It is like Thanksgiving, like nonsense land up here. It's insane. I had like 3 or 4 people. I sent out a newsletter and was like, "Hey, it's Wednesday. No more orders for Wednesday." And they were like, "Oh, can I make an order for Wednesday?" And I'm like, "What did I just say? Like, what did I just tell you, people?" By the way, these people can vote and hold office, so that's crazy to me. So, I have exciting news. As some of you may know, I do TNR work, which is where you take feral cats, you abduct them, and you give them reproductive care. And then you re-release them into the wild so that there are not so many feral cats, because that makes me sad. And a couple of months ago, what would that have been? January, February, March, April. This would have been April of this year, because I looked back, and you guys know I am terrible at time math or just math in general. So to me, it's been already a full calendar year. But Mink, the river cat that was probably dumped off out here in the middle of nowhere, she got sent in for TNR work in April. And for the last, what would be, now that I think about it, 6 months, half a year, has been like not wanting to like acclimate to like barn life and all of that. But she has been hanging out with Squirrel's cousin, who is one of our barn cats. She comes inside only really in the winter and in the summer if it's like soggy out. But for the most part, does not want to be an inside cat. Despite my best efforts, does not want to be an inside cat. Doesn't really care to be pet unless I have like a literal bale of catnip that I've like put on her like the laurel on one of those winning racehorses at a track. And that's the closest I've ever been to holding her, other than when I caught her eating my brand new like dove-sized chickens in my chicken coop. Love that for her, hate that for me. So Doppel Snarf, Doppel, has been hanging out with Mink. And because Doppel is a I think she would be considered a calico, although she's like bordering on just being a tortie with like little socks. She's been hanging out with Mink, who is a full tortie. Like, I don't think she has a single spot of white on her. And she meowed at me today. She meowed and she rolled around and was trying to entice me to feed her. So that is a good sign. Also, I got closer to her than I have ever gotten to her, barring her being under the effects of anesthesia. So very, very happy about that. Hopefully, I can give you guys like a Christmas update of me like petting her. But if you go back through in my TikToks of my TNR work and farm stuff, that's under, I want to say Nature Chick and then the number 3, just like my Instagram. That's where all of the farm stuff's going to go in the future. I try and have separate channels for you guys so you guys can follow like what you would prefer to see and stuff. But I don't like bombard you when I'm doing like different elements of different projects and stuff. But she sounds like a wild animal. I've had, I would say, probably 3 cases in all of the years of TNR, because I've done this for probably about 2 decades. I know I don't look it, but I started very young doing this TNR business, and one year we trapped 50 cats. It had just gotten out of control. There was like a dumping situation. where this little old lady lived in rural Idaho, and this just was a haven for people to like dump unwanted cats, which was very, very sad. But we did get all of those cats spayed and neutered, which was very expensive. Even with volunteer services and stuff, that was still like 20 bucks a cat. So 20 times 50 is still like a grand, I want to say. And then I think I matched that donation. I have to go back and look into my tax records, but it was really nice. And at least a third of those cats we got them new homes. So some of them did not have the temperament to be indoor cats, but we did distribute them to like a couple of new farmers and stuff like that so that they could have barn cats, like because these cats want to be near people but not inside. So that was a win. Very happy about that. It's always easier to rehome kittens, but I personally think that, if you get an older cat, you kind of know what the temperament is. So in some ways that can be easier to deal with. All of the cats that I've gotten them as kittens, but that's because they're all foster fails. So if I had fostered older cats, that would have happened. But, kitten season gets all the hype. If I could do it over again, if I was in a catless home, I would foster older cats because older cats, just like when I fostered that, I don't know if you guys ever met Betty, but I had a blind chicken actually that I rescued on Memorial Day. She had heat stroke and she was in the middle of the road, which was kind of a hilarious lead-in because I thought that my roommate was just like punking me or whatever. She's like, "Oh, there's a chicken in the middle of the road." I'm like, "That's not how the joke goes." But fool me once, autism. So I ended up having this blind buff Orpington chicken, and she was older. You can kind of tell their legs get kind of thicker, I guess, when they're an older, bigger bird than when they're little. And she was the best because she was blind. She didn't have any of the like trick-based aggression that sometimes hens can have because they're fast and small. And then because they were little, and made a bunch of noise around like food and water, it made it easier for her to find like the food and water dishes. And at night they would all snuggle together and it just worked out great. So, shout out to Betty, the blind chicken. She was awesome. And she got to live out the last like 2 years of her very old life. One, being useful, which is very important on a farm, and two, like her retirement served to raise up a good probably third of the chickens that I have right now, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so lots of fun stuff going on at the barn right now. Really excited for that. Thanksgiving is going to be a bit of a nightmare, but that's fine. I might have to take like a short break to go over orders with my boss here at some point in the stream. So just like keep in mind that's when we'll be having our intermission this time. But I guess without further ado, let's get into it, you guys, because I think I've made you guys. Okay, what's my speed test going at right now? I'm getting like 1 up right now. That's crazy bad. All right, let's. Oh, I think I might know what it is. Pick this one, and then see if that remedies the problem. Okay, a bit of a delay on that. That fixes some of the frame rate drops. We're going up. Are we going to stabilize? I'm the dropped frames. What did I do? What have I done? a low latency. Again, what our upload is now. Okay, that's better. Okay, so okay. How's that one? The patient stabilizing. Check out the... I am having the most problems on. Is it Twitch? Okay, Twitch looks fine. How about Kick? What are we doing on Kick? Oh, this is... Yeah, once again, not sure why it's only doing like an hour. 2 hours. 1 hour. That's crazy. What, is there like a cap on streaming on Twitch? Or on Kick? Ooh, perfect. Hey, there we go. We look way more stable. Nice. Those drop frames are dropping. Perfect. Perfect. We appear to be stable, you guys. Excellent. I'm gonna go grab some chicken nuggies real quick. Oh, nice. Yeah, those drop frames have dropped considerably. Excellent. Like some lettuce wraps. Mm. Good on me. I was gonna say, oh, where's my game?